Hey there! Welcome to our journey into the future of space warfare. It's an emerging frontier and we're on the brink of something monumental. Imagine a world where battles are fought not on land or sea, but in the vast expanse of space. Exciting, right? As we venture further into this uncharted territory, a new and unsettling reality emerges: the looming threat of space warfare. No longer confined to science fiction, the militarization of space is a growing concern that demands our attention. With nations developing anti-satellite weapons and laser systems, the potential for conflict in the cosmos is becoming increasingly real. Space-based assets play a critical role in our daily lives, from communication and navigation to weather forecasting and scientific research. Disrupting or destroying these assets could have catastrophic consequences, crippling economies and jeopardizing global security. The weaponization of space represents a paradigm shift in warfare, one with the potential to escalate tensions and trigger a devastating conflict. The question is no longer if space warfare will occur, but when. With each passing year, the risk grows more palpable. The year 2100 may seem far off, but in the grand scheme of things, it is just around the corner. If we fail to act decisively, we risk bequeathing a dangerous and unstable space environment to future generations. The time to address this issue is now, before it's too late. Adding to the complexity of the situation is the dual-use dilemma. Many technologies designed for civilian space exploration and utilization have potential military applications. For example, a satellite imaging system used to monitor crops could also be employed to track enemy troop movements. This blurring of lines between civilian and military applications makes it difficult to distinguish between peaceful and hostile intentions in space. This ambiguity poses a significant challenge for arms control efforts. How do you regulate technologies that can be used for both good and bad? How do you prevent a space arms race when even seemingly innocuous activities could be perceived as threatening? These are not easy questions to answer, but they are questions we must grapple with if we hope to prevent conflict in space. The dual-use dilemma highlights the need for clear communication and transparency among spacefaring nations. It also underscores the importance of international cooperation in establishing norms of behavior and building trust. Without these essential elements, the risk of miscalculation and escalation will continue to grow. In a world grappling with the specter of space warfare, the 2024 Summit of the Future offered a glimmer of hope. This summit saw the birth of the Pact for Space Security, an international agreement aimed at promoting responsible behavior in space. This pact represents a significant step towards establishing a framework for peaceful coexistence in the cosmos. A key element of the Pact for Space Security is the proposed ban on destructive weapons testing in space. This ban, if implemented effectively, would go a long way in preventing the further weaponization of space and reducing the risk of debris proliferation, a growing concern in its own right. The pact also calls for increased transparency and information sharing among signatory nations, fostering trust and reducing the likelihood of misinterpretation. While the Pact for Space Security is a positive development, it is just a first step. The journey towards peace in space is fraught with challenges, but also filled with hope. As nations come together to establish treaties and agreements, the dream of a peaceful cosmos becomes more tangible. The collaborative efforts in space exploration and the shared vision of a harmonious universe drive us forward. Will humanity rise above its terrestrial conflicts to ensure that space remains a domain of peace and cooperation? Only time will tell, but the steps we take today are crucial for a brighter tomorrow. The establishment of the United States Space Force in 2019 as a separate branch of the military underscores the growing importance of space as a domain of potential conflict. Tasked with protecting U.S. interests in space, the Space Force represents a clear recognition of the evolving security landscape and the need to deter aggression in the cosmos. The Space Force's mission encompasses a wide range of activities including space superiority, which means maintaining the ability to operate freely in space while denying adversaries the same. Global mission operations, utilizing space-based assets for intelligence gathering, communication, and navigation. And assured space access, ensuring the United States' ability to access and operate in space. The creation of the Space Force has sparked debate, with some arguing that it could escalate tensions and fuel an arms race in space. Others contend that it is a necessary step to deter aggression and protect vital U.S. interests. Regardless of one's stance, the Space Force's existence highlights the increasing militarization of space and the challenges inherent in maintaining peace in this new frontier. As we wrap up, let's take a moment to reflect. Space warfare might sound like science fiction, but it's closer to reality than we think. The decisions we make today will shape the future of space for generations to come. It's up to us to shape this future responsibly, ensuring that space remains a realm of exploration, innovation, and peace. The cosmos holds endless possibilities, and it is our collective responsibility to protect and nurture this final frontier. Thanks for joining me on this journey. Until next time, keep looking up at the stars and remember that the future of space is in our hands.